Hey, does your voice crack, break, and strain every single time it is that you try to hit those high notes? And do you feel like all your singing dreams are just crushed into a million pieces? If you're sick and tired of all these voice cracks and strains and problems on the high notes, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that today. Well, the problem isn't what you're doing when you're singing high notes, but it's actually where you're doing it. And in today's video, I'm going to show you my unique technique that is going to help you to master belting out those high notes with power. Hey, my name is Isaiah Harris. I'm a vocal coach, and my average students start singing higher, pain, strain, and tension-free in just as little as 2 weeks, and adds nearly a full octave to their vocal range in just as little as 2 months. You know, the techniques I'm going to be teaching you in today's video are something that have worked for my complete and total beginner students, as well as my intermediates, all the way up to my advanced professional gigging, touring musician students as well. So I've definitely been in your shoes. I used to have your exact same singing struggles. In fact, I used to sound like this.
Will you stay with me when nobody is around? If this is real, then tell me now.
And after implementing the things I'm going to teach you in today's video, it transformed my voice into sounding like this.
Each of us can find each other's life. With every breath I breathe, I sing a simple melody.
All right, let's get into it here. So, really, for us to really nail belting out these high notes, we need to understand it's not an issue with your ability to hit high notes. It's really an issue with just where you're hitting the high notes in your voice, where you're choosing to push and anchor the sound inside of your voice that makes it keep coming up, where it breaks, it cracks, it strains, and you feel all that tension all the time. And really, what it comes down to is we need to learn how to hit high notes from a place of what is known as vocal compression instead of a place of vocal tension. So tension is all the things in your voice that are working against you and everything that makes singing feel uncomfortable. And it'll make you go like, when instead we want to be able to go, hey, like that, nice and powerful with just those smooth, amazing types of belts. And what I just did there is what is known as building vocal compression inside of my voice. And another name for it is what's known as cry vocal mode. And basically what cry vocal mode is, it's us activating the very same muscles that we all use as babies to be able to whine and cry and scream all day long for our parents to come near us without our voices ever running out. Because you notice as adults though, you could just, be a school teacher and you could be talking throughout the day in your class, or you could be a public speaker, or you could be any type of profession that involves like speaking a lot. And your voice just from regular talking is going to wear out, and even more with singing. I've heard countless singers tell me, oh yeah, my voice just is wearing out like crazy at the end of my performances. And it's because we've fallen into bad habits that made us lose our cry vocal mode muscles. So the exercise we're going to get into here today is really going to help you to unlock your voice and to really reawaken that cry vocal mode and just the way that we were able to do things back when we were babies, to then apply that same principle into our singing so that we can really get that power into what it is that we're doing. So we're going to get into an exercise here on cry vocal mode. I do want to emphasize though that this is one of the most effective things that I teach my students, but also if you are not properly warmed up, it is also one of the most dangerous things that you can implement. So I want to show you super quickly, just a very quick warm up I want you to do before doing the actual core exercise here. And what that is going to be is, to warm up, you're going to do what is known as the full range hum, where all you're going to do is you're going to start out at whatever is the lowest possible note that you can hit, like as low as you can go, and you're going to siren up on a nice little hum to the highest possible note you can hit, so as high as you can go. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to go You're going to do that back and forth until you are totally out of air. And I want you to do at least 5 of those before you implement any of the actual vocal compression or vocal cry mode in the exercise that we're just going to do here in just a little bit. Okay? So pause the video, do, 5, preferably 10 of those full range hums just to make sure that we're going into this safely here, okay? And then come back when you're ready. Okay, so the way that we're gonna get into really bringing in this compression or the cry vocal mode inside of our voices is by simply doing what is known as a whine hum. And basically, all you're gonna do at a whine hum is you're going to do regular basic humming the way you normally would, except you're going to do it with a very whiny and a very big pouty face as you were singing, where you go, like this. To be clear, we're not going, we're not doing that. We are just doing the poutiness, the whininess. One thing that really helps with this is if you go like, why me, in just the most saddest way you can ever possibly think about. Like, that's actually going to help you to get an idea and understanding of the type of whininess and brattiness that you need in this. I will say a general pattern I've noticed is for those that aren't the most emotionally expressive people, this is going to be a little bit challenging for you, but you need to really challenge yourself to express your emotions with this exercise because it's what makes it effective. And it's also, too, going to help you to express your emotions more when you're actually singing. And one thing, believe it or not, that really helps you to get more of this whine type of hum is actually thinking of a sad thought while you are doing the exercise. I know it sounds crazy, but legitimately just like close your eyes and think of the saddest thought you can possibly think of. One thing that always helps me with doing this to get in a really sad mood is to think about my ex. Obviously, I'm joking there. But whatever works for you, do that to really get yourself in a sad mood to do the and notice too, just like how pouty the rest of my face is. It's literally like as if I was crying, like okay. So, another thing I want to show you with this to now make this whine hum that we've done infinitely more effective is by doing what is known as a whine hum, but through your golden spot, which if you've seen any of my other prior videos, you'll know that the golden spot, it is like the core foundation of what I teach so many of my students. And it's a little technique that I had learned from my old vocal coach years ago who had trained Katy Perry before they were famous. And I remember when I was first working with my coach and he was showing me the ins and outs of the golden spot, it just did wonders for my voice, wonders for my range, wonders to truly just bring out all of the uniqueness and all of the power that my voice had to offer. And when I was working with my coach, he kind of explained to me that, the golden spot, it's a series of 7 notes unique to everyone, just like their fingerprint. So mine different from yours different from your mom, dad, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, you name it. But when you find what those 7 notes are unique and specific to you, they essentially become the teeny, 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 tiny domino that are going to knock down all the other bigger dominoes of your singing problems. And also take the power of this whine hum to the next level. So here's how you are going to find your unique golden spot. So all you're simply going to do is you're going to pop out a piano or a piano app. It just really doesn't matter. You can just, search, piano app in the app store, or just, on your computer, just type in like piano website, and you're going to pick any random note that you just naturally feel comfortable on. And what you're going to do is you're going to start singing a nice little la on that note. And you're going to keep going higher and higher and higher in pitch until you start to notice a break, a crack, a shift, or a strain inside of your voice. And when you get to that crack, break, shift, or strain inside of your voice, or tension that you feel inside of your voice, you're going to take note of that, because that's going to be where the center point of your golden spot is going to be at. Okay, let's give this a try. So start at any random run-of-the-mill note. La, 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 la. And for the sake of the exercise, I'm pretending that this note right here is the note that I have the crack, break, or strain on. So you're going to take note of that. And what you're going to do is, what we have found here is the center point of our golden spot. So what we now need to do is we now simply need to find where this golden spot begins. And so what we're going to do is we're going to count down 7 notes, including the note that we started on. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this here, it brings us to E. So now that we found that main starting note, what we're now going to do is we're now going to come back down to the original note that we had started on, which is going to be this guy here. And now that we found where our golden spot began, guess what? We're going to now need to find where our golden spot ends. So we're going to count up 7 notes from this original starting note. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this brings us to another E. So from this E to this E is where our golden spot range is at. Once again, I need to emphasize that this is going to be custom, unique to you. I know I started at a specific spot in the video, but you're going to be at a different starting point. You'll be at a different center note, a different down 7 that you count, and a different up 7. But, just pause the video, figure out what that is unique for you, and then come back. So the significance of what we just helped you to find here is this. So hypothetically, if someone held a gun to your head and said, all right, you got 24 hours to audition for America's Got Talent and win. Otherwise, I'm pulling the trigger. Well, the absolute best use of your 24 hours to save your life is to work on singing all the notes in between this range. And the reason why is because, like I mentioned earlier, this golden spot is the teeny, teeny, tiny domino that's going to knock down all the other bigger dominoes of your singing problems. Okay, so now that we found this golden spot range, what we're now going to do is we're now going to insert that whine hum into our golden spot range. Okay, So it's going to sound a little something like this. I'm going to go. As you can see, did that nice little hum. So I was totally out of air. And also you'll notice I'm not just a little out of air, I'm a lot out of air. You want to be totally exhausted with the breath as you are doing this. This is the absolute most important part of this whole entire exercise is the fact that you're doing it to out of breath. You can mess up on the whininess, you can mess up on the way that you were humming, but as long as you were doing this until you are totally out of breath, that is what truly makes the vast majority of the difference. In fact, I actually one time had a student that they had watch my free YouTube content where I was implementing and showing them how to do this particular exercise in their golden spot. And they had reached out to me wanting to, take lessons with me. And they said, Isaiah, this is the most amazing thing I've ever tried just off of your free YouTube content. Like I've started to add a couple of notes to my range. My performances are way more powerful. Like people have even been saying things about how much better I'm already starting to sound. And I'm like, awesome, man. And then, I start working with them the first couple of weeks. And I noticed, wow, even though you got results from my free content, you're still doing the exercise 90% wrong. But because you did it until you were out of breath and took it to its maximum every single time, you still saw results. And I've actually seen that story repeat itself multiple times, again and again and again and again. You can mess up on almost everything else that I am showing you in this exercise, and you will still get the result as long as you are pushing your breath to its absolute limits. Do not let the simplicity of this fool you, because I'm sure some of you are thinking, Isaiah, I've done this before. I've done humming. I've done similar exercises to this. Well, I can bet you probably haven't done it in this specific way or through your golden spot range. In fact, this is what just a couple of my students had to say after I really helped them to hone, enhance, and refine their golden spot, and by simply just doing this exercise that I'm showing you here.
When I see other YouTube videos, it's like I don't even have to do them now because I just do the golden spot, and I just feel like I'm wasting less time. That's what it feels like. Like doing your stuff, it's like I'm getting to my goals more quickly.
I can tell you that last week when we did this in the morning before I had concerts, I felt so much stronger. At least in the first concert, it was like clean, and there was just a dramatic difference, like just in how I felt in addition to how I sounded. I just sounded better and stronger. So there's a clear difference.
Man, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
And you, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me.
Oh man, yeah, I really like that time. So tell me, what did you feel was good? And
I was very, very proud because it sounded completely better. It felt like I had way more support. I wasn't afraid of going to the upper register. Because I think all of the fear was gone from the running out of breath.
I'm thoroughly impressed. Like I still can't believe the fact that I've just been humming over my golden range, and for me to see so much growth. Like even what I sent you, was so much better than what I would have been able to even do just a couple weeks ago.
By the way, if you've been loving this video and want to go even deeper on this concept of the golden spot, plus also to learn how to leverage your golden spot to avoid the 3 biggest pitfalls that trip up so many different singers, be sure to click the link into the description or scan the QR code above to check out my free training called The 3 Biggest Singing Mistakes That Are Holding Back the Songs You Write, the gigs you perform, and the albums that you attempt to record. It has helped out so many singers in the past, and I know it is going to do you wonders. I do want to preface though that this training is not designed just for any and every singer. If you're just that casual karaoke singer who just sees singing as a fun hobby, this probably isn't the training for you. Like, this training is meant for people that they see singing not just as a hobby, but truly as a calling, to where you've got songs that you've written that you want to put out into the world. You've got gigs that you're performing. You've got albums you want to put out. Like, you really want to impact and change the world with your singing, and, you know, potentially even turn music into a career because you truly are in love with your craft. Then this training is going to do absolute wonders for you and bring so many breakthroughs like it has for so many of my other students that have been through it. So once again, just simply click the link in the description or scan the QR code above here, and I will see you in the training. So let's do another example of this golden spot whine hum. Okay. So once again, on the count of 3, take a nice, good little deep breath, go into that whine hum, think those sad thoughts, and hold it until you are totally out of breath. All right. You can see I was totally exhausted out of air. And also, don't stress yourself out about how long you go. Just make sure you're going your longest every single time. I know I went pretty long there. Eventually, you'll be able to work up your way to go as long as I've been able to go on this as well. So as you're doing this exercise, if you're doing it the right way, you're going to notice that you start to feel a little bit of a vibrational kind of whiny buzz around this area. And this is what's known as, you know, the singer's mask. And that's real important because this is allowing us to be able to hit those notes in the right place with that vocal compression that I talked about earlier. And this is also another thing that it seems very minor, but it's very important that you feel that sensation of almost this little vibrational buzz. It's going to feel slightly different for everybody, but really honing and mastering it, that's the thing that's going to get you that little extra edge of refinement in your singing, that little like extra grit that you tend to see in a lot of performances. And personally, like it not only just made me start to have better performances, but I'm talking like I got standing ovation level performances when I started to really focus on this compression aspect and really singing from the mask like this. All right, so the next thing that I want to show you to really belt out those high notes and to take this compression to the next level is we're now going to do what's known as the hum bay exercise, to where we're going to do the same thing through our golden spot range. But this time, we're going to start with the little whine hum. We're going to do the we're going to hold that for a split second, but we're then going to transition that into a very whiny bay, almost like you're saying, baby, I love you, baby. Like try saying that for a bit. That actually will help you to get more of that whiny brattiness type of sound like, baby, baby, baby. Okay? So I'm gonna go, and what we're then going to do is we're then going to siren that up into a nice simple little ah. So it's going to be from bay to ah very slowly. And it's going to look like this. We're going to go Okay. Another thing I want to point out about the way I did this exercise. So you'll notice I did the and I still kept that whininess and that brattiness inside of there. You know, still thinking them sad thoughts. And right when I transitioned from the A to the ah, it was extremely subtle. You notice how you couldn't really quite tell where the A sound ended and the ah sound began. Because we're going A like ape to ah like apple with that transition. Like you couldn't really quite tell the exact moment where one vowel sound changed into another. That's the level of subtlety that you want to have as you're doing the exercise, where you make it nice and smooth like A. The thing is, like, you could literally play this video at like 0.25x speed, but you still really couldn't quite tell where in all that I fully transitioned into the ah. It was already kind of there before you even knew it. You want to have that type of smoothness to where you're going through this like a thief in the night, trying to come undetected. Okay, so let's give it a try here again. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, another very subtle thing I want to point out. You'll also notice too, as I was doing this, there was a nice simple little I was almost making like a bit of it was a very, very subtle, almost like umbrella sound that I was kind of making as I was transferring into the ah. It's, you can barely hear it. I was going See, it's very subtly there, but that little sound, that is what's known as our connector vowel, and it's actually going to help you to more easily connect and make this smooth and be like that thief in the night to really, really help you to belt these things out, add more of that refinement, more of that cry vocal mode that's going to help you going like, hey, you know, and really, really make sure you're belting those things out powerfully. So I also too want to emphasize as you're doing this, we're not going, you see, there's no whininess in that. That was just regular and also you notice my face it's not scrunched up because there's no whine to it. I'm going because the thing is, it's really hard to belt out those high notes if you just keep a straight face. Like I go like, see, you hear like the tension in that. But if I scrunch up the face, if I get the whine, like what we're doing here, if I go, it allows it to really, really come out more powerfully and more belty, and really making sure that I'm just absolutely nailing it. Okay? So that covers things for today's video. Definitely, once again, be sure to click the link in the description. Check out that free training to really take the golden spot to the next level. Also, as well, too, if you want to check out my other video I have here that takes the concept of belting on an even deeper level as well, click this video here that it's showing right now on YouTube.